We were learning some investment ideas and investment philosophies from Vasant Maheshwari, and one stock that he has picked out for 2015 is Repco Home Finance. So what we've done is invited the management of the company to discuss what the potential could be like. V. Raghu, the Executive Director of Repco Home Finance, joins us. Mr. Raghu, good morning. Vasant Maheshwari is also sitting by with us, so he'll be questioning you as well. But before that, if you can tell us what the potential looks like in 2015, what kind of loan growth are you envisaging for the company?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Vasant Maheshwari. I think we expect to maintain the growth momentum during FY15 also as to what we have been doing the last couple of years. We expect to maintain a loan growth book of around 25 to 30% growth in the loan book, the FY15.
Raghu, are you already seeing an improvement in margins since wholesale cash has become a tad cheaper? And how does the prospect look in 2015? What were your margins in net interest margins in 2014? What may they be in 2015?
Our margins have been steady over the last couple of years. We've been able to maintain a margin of around 3%. And we'd like to continue to maintain this margin. And when you're especially dealing with small ticket size and you're able to maintain a margin of 3%, I think that should be a good margin to maintain.
Okay. Mr. Raghu, Vasant Maheshwari also has some questions, so over to you.
Hello, Raghu sir. Great platform to be interacting with you. I hope you're doing well. One thing I'd like to put up to you was, for the last 2 years, we didn't take any rate increase rather, with regard to our borrowers, because we didn't want to actually pass on the increase in rates. So when interest rates come down, will we pass on the decrease in interest rates, or we intend to hold them? And what is your sense on, because if interest rates come down, wholesale rates are already down, and I mean, if RBI reduces rates, is our NIM going to expand by any means? Because when we didn't increase rates, are we going to decrease them actually now?
Well, we'll definitely take a call on this and try to pass on some benefit to the borrowers also. As I told you, our long-term policy is to maintain a NIM of around 4% and a spread of around 3%. If we're able to do that, and to some extent I think we should be in a position to pass it on to the borrowers, we'll take a call as and when the interest rates are reduced by the Reserve Bank of India.
Okay. Given the government's thrust on affordable housing, the central government that is, and possibly a turn in the economy, are you, if I have to ask you for a CAGR over 3 years, do you think you will do better than the 25%?
As I told you, our long-term aim is also to maintain a growth rate of around 25 to 30%. We'll try to maintain that growth, because once you grow, you also have to maintain the quality of the assets. So we'd like to balance both and see the opportunity that is available in the market, and we'll take a call accordingly, whether to increase the growth and then also to maintain the quality.
In fact, the quality of your assets has improved quite a bit. Even in the quarter gone by, I understand that your gross NPAs have fallen to 1.65% versus 2.5%. Do you expect further improvement in FY16?
Yes, we always strive to lower that figure from 1.65%. We'll definitely try to take it to the industry average of around 1%. We'll try to bring it.
You're not thinking of applying for a small bank license, are you?
No, we aren't thinking of a small bank license as of now. No, we aren't.
Raghu sir, just one broad question here. In the last 12-13 years, we have grown our loan asset by 50x. That was obviously because we had a small base, but we didn't have experience at that time. So what stops us? I'm not saying growing at 50x actually, but if you take the advantage of having a low base, you also have the disadvantage of not having any experience at all. I think you started in this century. You didn't start in 1999 even. So over the next 10-15 years, I mean, Lata is saying 2015, I think your story is for 2025 or maybe 2035 also. So what are the things that you would like the government to do? Because last time you told us that there isn't enough free supply of land for people to construct homes. And if homes don't come up, how can you grow at 35-40%, which you can? And secondly, what is so different that has happened in the last 12-13 years where we were growing at 35-40% that we cannot grow at that once we have the tailwind of the government and the lower interest rates because affordability goes up and things like that? So any sense on that, if you could enlighten us maybe perhaps?
For sure. I still maintain that, the supply side constraints need to be removed for increasing the supply of more of affordable housing. And as far as housing is concerned, it is nothing to do with most of the Land Act or something like that, because the land requirement for individual housing is much lower than what you require the land for an industry. So we don't require large chunk of land for housing per se, if you're doing some small project in small towns in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, where the land, of course, is easily available. I think there need to be some sort of a time regulation in completing the houses, and that will probably make people more confident in investing more in houses. And definitely with fall in interest rates, which is expected in the coming quarters, the demand for housing finance will also go up, and with the government thrust on housing sector, with fiscal concessions being increased for the housing sector in the last budget, yes, we'd like to grow at a faster rate, but then as I told you, we'd like to take a call because we need to mobilize resources at affordable rates, and then we also need to have manpower to do this business. So we'd like to take a call on the entire spectrum of the business, and then we'll take a call about increasing the growth rate. But I think maintaining a 25 to 30% growth when the industry itself is expected to grow around 15 to 20%, I think is a good growth rate to maintain.
Well, absolutely no faulting that. Do you see more competition in your space, probably from expected small banks or other players?
Well, competition is always welcome, and the market is so huge. I think more new players are welcome there. And as long as everybody is able to provide quality service, I think competition is welcome.
Okay. Just one more question from my end. Geography-wise, where are you present the most in terms of where you disburse loans? And also, currently, I think you're doing about 500 crores per quarter in terms of loan disbursements. Say a couple of years, 3-4 years down the line, how much do you think your book could grow in terms of the absolute figure?
Well, we expect to double from the present level in the next 3 years, our outstanding loan book. We'd like to take it about 10,000 crores over the next 3 years. And as far as the geographic presence is concerned, yes, we are present largely in the southern part of the country. 64% of my business comes from Tamil Nadu, another 12% come from Karnataka, 12% from Andhra. The remaining are from the other states, the northern region, outside the southern region, we have a 6% share of the book today. We'd like to take it up slowly to higher levels.
All right. Well, a final question to you, Mr. Maheshwari. You said that home finance would be perhaps one of the leaders of 2015. Any other leaders you can spot?
Just before this, to answer the question on loan book and loan assets, out of the 5,000 crores that Repco has lent, they've blown up only about 4 or 4.5 crores till date. So loan book, they've got a lumpy loan book because of self-employed thing. But coming back to the leadership thing, I think bull market leaders remain for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They don't remain for just 1 year. Housing finance is definitely there. You look at all stocks associated with housing, just broadly. Symphony, Whirlpool, Kajaria, Cera, everything is hitting an all-time high. And one brilliant thing of finding out a leadership is those stocks have to hit all-time highs. You won't get a bull market leader hitting all-time lows.
So you have something in the home improvement space?
Anything. That's for you to decide and figure out. I mean, Whirlpool, Kajaria, Symphony, Cera, anything that is related to your home is supposed to do well. And secondly, my big theme is the urban consumer, where the jockey fits very well. It's riding well, and I think it's good. It should ride well also.
All right. Mr. Raghu, Mr. Maheshwari, this was a most enlightening and entertaining conversation. Thank you very much for joining us and identifying your investment philosophy and views.